I think a lot of people, they always, they're bad at like setting their own productivity boundaries. We're like, hey, I won't take phone calls from this time. I'm not going to work on this. I have to work on this. Like I can't respond to this kind of thing. Right. But if you think of your brain, like imagine you had a company and your brain was your employee. So imagine you go, I had an employee and I go, hey, I want you to do something really important for the next 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
And then you were sort of coming, and then someone else came up to you and they go, hey, I need to like have a quick phone call with them. That you'd go, no, I'll have them call you back in 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if your brain, if you think of it like that, so everything you want yourself to do, you go, hey, I want to work on this for 2 hours. I need to get this done today. Anything like that, how you would block off other things from getting to your employee, think of your own brain like that.
As an employee, yeah.
Or anyone who wanted to do anything. Also,
sounds like you might have you should be posting this in multiplicity.
I think it's honestly a good way to think of it. That changes because everyone's more respectful to other people's times a lot of times than their own, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about that, treat it like, what if someone else was doing something really important and you were sort of and they were doing it for you, and then someone come in, they're like, hey, I just need to ask them a quick question. You go, hey, they'll get back to you in 2 hours. Like that's what you'd say to them, right?
Yeah.
So you treat it like that's what your own brain is. And same with making them do stuff. Like imagine you need parameters, like the same way that if you were telling someone to do something, you go, hey, I want some like graphic design done, or I want you to set up like a thing. You wouldn't just say, I don't know, figure it out. You would probably go, here are the parameters. Here's how much money you want to spend. Here's so the same reason or they'll do a crappy job and then you'll come back and have to. So with your own brain, you need to set your own parameters where you go, hey, here's the task I want you to do,
And what do you do? You speak to yourself in like a mirror kind of thing?
Well, you can write it down if you want. You could write down, like sometimes you could write down your parameters, but you could also, some of the things you could turn your phone off but it's a lot of times like justifying it where think about that's how your brain is really like this, like a machine that's working for you.
It's interesting.
So anyways, that's
a bit of a computer, if you will.
Yeah, something like that.
Treat your brain. You basically want to write software.
Treat your brain like a robot that's working for you. Something like that.
Can I bang the robot?
Yeah, you can.
Robot's jerking off again.
A robot would be jerking. Yeah, that's the thing. The robot every hour is like, yeah, you want to spank it?
Yeah, you want to crank one out?
You go, no, and you can't crank one out yet.
Come on. Let's crank one out.
Oh, I'd love to crank.
Please crank.
Crank meter high. Cranking meter is high.
Crank it.
Thank you for watching that clip, supporting the channel. If you like The Boyscast, there's a new episode every week at patreon.com/TheBoyscast.
That's patreon.com/TheBoyscast.